This video is presented by the EA Creator Network. I worked with EA to obtain exclusive information and clips of the newest patch which you're all about to see. Of course, a massive thank you for EA for the opportunity, and I hope you guys enjoy the video. What's going on, guys? NealGuides here. Welcome back to another video. Title update number 14. Update that I think you all very much like. EA have now introduced new elements into the game, especially in terms of attacking. That's the key one here. There's new mechanics, new skill moves that you can do, and finishing has improved also with buffs to various different types of shots. And nerfing of the AI defense, I think one change that we've all been waiting for since the game came out. And there's been a few other changes to dribbling and a few other stuff that I'll get onto towards the end. But these are definitely refreshing changes that I think collectively as a community, as a whole, I suppose you can say we've all been waiting for. That definitely is a step forward to making the gameplay more rewarding and providing us with new attacking options. But without further ado, let's just go straight into the video. So in terms of attacking, in terms of shooting, one thing they have done is they've increased the likelihood of a knuckleball animation taking place when you end up doing a high powered shot. Now, to do a knuckleball, it's very, very simple. There's no actual buttons you have to press to activate it. It's done by simply facing towards goal, using a high powered shot when the ball's a bit in front of you, and the knuckleball animation will take place. And as you can see, this is actually an example of how the knuckleball does look. And you can see you get this during the trajectory, the ball just weaves, kind of similar to like a knuckleball free kick. I'm sure all of you guys have probably seen this in real life, the Ronaldo-esque type shot, especially in his prime. So a very, very effective mechanic. And to be honest, it does look looks very satisfying to score. It's very, very effective, but I don't think it's going to be overpowered. There's no specific attributes or traits that affect it, so technically anyone can do it. Rather, it relies just on basically you facing towards the goal and using a high powered late shot. But this is important. You have to be facing forward and towards the goal. And that is the way you do it. You can't, for example, face towards the corner flag and then shoot this way. It won't work. Just be facing forwards and towards goal, as you can see in this example. You can do this when you're jogging, and the ball has to just be a tad bit in front of you. And as you can see, goalkeepers do dive against it, so it's not undefendable. It's not like some overpowered shot mechanic, but it opens up an interesting dynamic against goalkeeper movement. We know sometimes people from far away, they use goalkeeper movement, but with this type of knuckleball, it could be interesting to see how the dynamics change, because it's not going to be so overpowered where the ball just swerves completely, but it does have some movements. Maybe you can catch some players off guard. Now, and then we're going to move on to a new skill move, and I think this skill move could be very much meta if used correctly. It's a new skill move in the game. You've probably never seen this before. And I like to think of it like a drag back, but much, much faster, kind of changing speed backwards on the dime. And it's called the ball roll cut. Now, this is a 4 or 5-star skill move. It's not everyone can do it. It's only a 4 or 5-star skill move. But it's very, very simple to do. All you do is you hold the L1 button and you flick the right stick back twice, as you can see on the screen. And of course, that will depend on which direction you're facing. And it's a good way to exploit space, I think, inside the box. If you're going one way and cutting back the other way, or if you're down the wing and you want to cross the ball in to get back on the other side. And so that is a new skill move inside the game. There's also some other changes to skill moves which I'll mention later, and we'll go over that very, very soon. Now, this is an interesting one. Low-driven shots. Now, in real life, we all know when we watch football, the best way to score in real life is a low-powered shot in the corner. But why is it not that effective in FIFA? But what they've done now is they've added something, or added some changes to make it more effective. What they've done is they've now buffed low-driven shots. They've greatly increased the accuracy of low and mid-powered low shots. Now, this will be very, very effective in 1v1s, because we know goalkeepers, as it is, they're just so effective. But with low-driven shots, you have the accuracy being increased. And I think because it's greatly increased, it's got a high chance of you actually scoring that goal in that 1v1 situation. What they've done is they've also significantly reduced the shot spread of a low to mid power shot. So if you're taking a shot, there's a less chance of now going, for example, outside the post. As you know, it's probably very, very frustrating. So they've increased the accuracy and reduced the spread on it. And I think with this new change could open up an interesting dynamic in 1v1s and actually make the game very, very rewarding, especially when you break down a defense and you end up getting that goal scoring opportunity. They've also made some changes to headers. Now, normally when a cross comes in, traditionally speaking, you try to head the ball and it would always go top bins or near about on the upper end of the pitch, or the upper end, should I say, of the goal. If you want to really aim it down, you hold L1, R1, you get that bounce type animation. But what if you wanted to aim it towards the bottom of the goal, almost kind of like a low driven shot in the corner. Well, now you actually can. What they've done is they've increased the speed at which the ball travels when taking a lower or mid powered header to make it effective. So it actually goes into the goal and the goalkeeper doesn't save it. And lower powered headers are more likely to produce a lower ball trajectory. So let's say the cross comes in, I tap the shot button, it will more likely go towards the bottom of the net as opposed to just going towards the top. Does that make sense? So it actually makes it much easier for you to score those goals and actually direct it where you want, as you can see in some of these examples. They've increased the speed at which the ball travels following a chipped header as well, and lowered the trajectory of a chipped header as well. That could be an effective trait if you do use chipped headers. So basically, long story short, normal headers, they've increased the shot speed from low to mid power headers, and that's towards the bottom of the goal. And chipped headers, they've increased the speed and decreased the trajectory of how long it takes to go towards goal. So they should both be a bit more effective, especially the lower power chipped headers. So they've actually made some more changes to skill moves. They've actually buffed some existing skill moves. As you can see, some footage of the skill moves itself, but this is basically what it used to look like before. But what they've done is they've slightly increased the animation speed of the reverse step over, and the body feint. So the animation speeds of all those are being increased. That means it's more effective, especially inside the box, making it more effective to kind of get into an angle, get away from your opponent, to make it very, very effective. I think it'll be a good way to use these inside the box. And I've got some examples here of how you do the reverse step over, and the body feint, just in case some of you guys forgot how to do the skill moves. There's also been some defensive changes. They now significantly decrease the range required for the defender to attempt to tackle the ball without pressing the tackle button. So what this means is, generally speaking, if the ball comes towards your feet and you don't press the tackle button anymore, they've decreased that range for you to attempt to make that tackle much lower. So it's more human driven and less AI driven. So I suppose you can say this could actually promote people actually tackling the ball now and not getting away with not being exactly towards the ball and actually kind of getting it. So that's like another interesting mechanic as well. Now they've also changed AI block, something that we've all been waiting for, or me in particular, very much since the game started. They've nerfed AI blocks as a whole, and it's now made it more rewarding for you to select a defender and kind of defend the goal manually, as opposed to relying on AI blocks. Now, what you can see now is footage before title update 14, but I wanted to give you a visual representation of what's been changed. So the first thing is, they've significantly reduced the reach of an attempted block by an AI controlled player. So let's say, for example, the AI controlled player, now after title update number 14, that reach is now being significantly decreased. Again, it's just an example, just to give you a bit of a visual representation. So it's not the exact reach. And what they've done also is they slightly reduced the reach of an attempted block if you actually control that player. So this is going to make the game more rewarding. Now you're going to feel more rewarded for selecting the right player when you're defending. Now I think in combination to changes of shooting, increasing the 1v1 situation, the low driven shots, etc, the skill moves, and the nerfing of AI defense, I think it will make the game much more rewarding, because I think the biggest issue in this game is finishing, and I think title update is very much a step towards fixing that. So an AI defense now has been nerfed as a general. Remember, AI defense, if it's controlled by the AI, the player, it's being reduced significantly. If it's human, as in that's you playing, selecting that player, it's being reduced a little bit. So it's being reduced, nerfed as a whole, but rewards you now for manually selecting that player. And alongside that, they've actually increased the animation speeds of left stick dribbling, agile dribbling, and the strafe dribbling. So you can see even more additions to the attacking type of play, attacking style, attacking dynamics, should I say, attacking elements are now being buffed to make it very much rewarding for you inside the box. And what they've done also, just to touch on it, is that they've actually increased and buffed finesse shots. Now, finesse shots, especially in clear 1v1s, I've always found that the goalkeepers always make that save. But what they've done is they slightly increased the effectiveness of finesse shots in potential goal scoring situations, for example, like this. Again, this footage in this particular example is before title update number 14. And if we focus on this example in particular, this is only when the player or the ball carrier is not under heavy pressure from a defender or a goalkeeper. So for example, in this situation, a potential goal scoring situation, as you can see, no one is around Messi, nor is the goalkeeper, and therefore he would then get this slight increased effectiveness of the finesse shot after title update number 14. As I said, it's just an example just to show you visually what I'm referring to. And that is some of the major changes in title update number 14. I think this is an update that I'll be very much looking forward to. I think many of you guys will do as well. Fair play to EA adding these elements into the game as well, and new skill moves, something I'll be very much looking forward to using. And what I'll do is I'll link below in the description the actual link towards the title update kind of full list where you can read it in a bit more detail. But anyway guys, hope you enjoyed this video. A different kind of type of video. We went through the changes, and stay tuned. Let me know what your thoughts are down below in the comment section. Let me know if you found it to be effective, what you would like to see in the game, and what feature you're probably looking forward to the most. If it's me, to be honest, I'm looking forward to most low driven shots, because I used to really love them back in the day, and I think, you know what, with the changes now proposed, I think shooting, especially 1v1s, will now be more effective and definitely more rewarding, and definitely the game as a whole much better. Anyway guys, thanks for watching, take it easy, and of course I'll catch you next time. Peace out.